Shavuot is approaching. We're going to talk about the lighting candles on Yom Tov. Ogad Gvina next time. We're going to talk about that also. What about dairy food? From what I know, at least from my wife's family, the Moroccans don't like to eat dairy food. There are no dairy dishes and there's no dairy food. But we'll talk about it at a different occasion. Let's talk about for Hadlaka, lighting candles for Yom Tov. So today it has become a common practice. We light candles for Shabbat, we light candles for Yom Tov, and people consider them to be of the same category. But they have a different history. Lighting Shabbat candles originally started because what we call Kavod Shabbat, the honor of Shabbat, and that came from a period where the only light that you had was the candle lights. You don't have any other. I mean, today we think we have electricity, so the candles is more a symbolic, spiritual thing. Back in the day, candles that was your light. So the Hachamim said you have to light candles before Shabbat. So when you eat the meal, you will eat it with at candlelight and not in the darkness. Other than that, what people used to do during the week, they used to eat a little early, a little before sunset, so they could use the daylight and save on oil. Oil was it's an expensive thing. Imagine if the whole country uses only oil to light candles. It becomes a commodity, right? It's a lot of oil, and people try to save. Really, they would put out the candle and go to sleep. But Shabbat, Haim said you have to light the candles for the whole Shabbat. So that was the Kavod Shabbat, that you put enough oil to stay there for the whole day. But the Gemara doesn't mention that you light candles for Yom Tov. It is never mentioned for a very simple reason. Since on Yom Tov you could use an existing candle, an existing fire. So if you have something that's lit from before Shabbat, or you have the fireplace, you could always take a branch or something and light a new candle if you need. So this is not mentioned, not as a beracha. You want to leave candles for Yom Tov, for only Yom Tov, for just to enjoy Yom Tov and have pleasure, no problem. So therefore, the Tur, Arba Turim doesn't even mention lighting candle on Yom Tov, but the Beit Yosef, Rabbi Yosef Karo, says the following. It's actually a commentary on Adlakat Nerot Shabbat. The Tur, Rabbeinu Yaakov ben Arosh, writes, כשידליק יברך ברוך אתה השם אלוקינו מלך עולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. Right? When you light the candles, this is the beracha that you say. The commentary of Rabbi Yosef Karo, he says this, כתוב בהגאות מימוניות ובמרדכי בפרק במה מדליקין, דאית בירושלמי, גם ביום טוב צריך לברך להדליק נר של יום טוב. So he says, he quotes two sources, both of them Ashkenazi tradition. One is the commentary on Rambam, on Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon. The other one, Mordechai, is a collection of halachot and commentary on the Gemara. Both of them are of Ashkenazi origin. It's important to know that because we know people say we follow the Shulchan Aruch and we follow Rabbi Yosef Karo, and there's the halacha of the Sephardim. So you should know, Rabbi Yosef Karo made in his Shulchan Aruch, he believed in diversity. So whenever there was a possibility to bring in an Ashkenazi minhag or custom or something that was based on Kabbalah and did not immediately contradict or oppose a Sephardic halacha, he would bring it in. So, for example, Hanoten La'ya'if Koach, which is actually, it was against it. But in this case, he says both of them say that Gam B'Yom Tov, when you light the candles, people would keep candles anyway just to have light, but he said you have to say baracha for it. It has to be a special mitzvah. And he says, ונראה, דאית בירושלמי גם ביום טוב, ונראה ביום הכיפורים בלא שבת, אין מברכין. דלא חשו לשלום הבית, אלא בשבת. And he says, and the Rabbi Yosef Karo adds that on Yom Kippur, you don't say bracha. להדליק נר, why? Because you don't eat. You don't eat, so you don't. Why would you light the candle? You go to the Bet Knesset, you come back home, and maybe that's the reason for the minhag that people used to light candles on Erev Kippur in the Bet Knesset, sort of to make up for not lighting at home. But as we know very well, now the practice is spread that we say we light the candles and we also say beracha. Just interesting history of the minhag to see how we evolved from saying beracha only on Shabbat to saying beracha on Yom Tov as well, to saying it on Yom Kippur. And in Ilchot Yom Tov, the Shulchan Aruch writes very simply, "Hamadlik ner b'Yom Tov, hamadlik ner liyom Tov, yevarech alav ladlik ner shel Yom Tov." So he writes it not in a way that you have to light a candle. Even the Shulchan Aruch doesn't say you have to light candles for Yom Tov. He says if you light candles, say the beracha. Meaning you could choose not to light candles. So today, what would be the implication is interesting because we have electricity. Every house, every household, every home was always lit. So we have actually you're probably energy savvy if you go around the house and you make sure that all the lights are turned off. Other than that, there's no light that's completely dark. Not on Shabbat, not a regular day, right? We are modern men. We're like chickens in the coop. They keep their light, artificial light, constantly, so they will keep laying eggs. So we need to be productive at all times. It used to be different. It used to be that people had a long night and more rest in the winter, and a short night and more activity in the summer. But anyway, now we all have light. So what would be the outcome? Kivyachol, one might argue, you don't have to light Shabbat candles because you already have light. The whole idea was that you eat the meal with light and not at darkness, and this way there will be shalom bayit and people will not fight. So the answer is this: it's true that if a woman forgot to light Shabbat candles, she could say, it's not as if she has skipped the mitzvah because there was light in the house. Or if one is in a hotel where they don't allow to light candles, it's very common today. Safety requirements, fire hazard, they don't allow candles in a hotel room. So one can decide to be adventurous and light it anyway. But there were cases where there were disasters. So if you want to light candles in a hotel room, real candles, the only way it will be allowed is if you stay in the room until the candles die out. And if Haz v'Shalom something happens, for whatever reason, a window opens and the curtain catches fire, you'll have to put it out on Shabbat immediately and then call 911. So, if in this cases we were in Shabbatonim, where the whole school went on Shabbaton to a hotel, and so everybody got a Shabbat lamp, it says like Lechavot Shabbat Kodesh, and before you plug it into the wall, you say Ladlik Ner Shel Shabbat. You say the bracha, because the idea is that you have light. It's not about fire; it's about having light on Shabbat. So this is on that side. You could say the argument is you're covered with the light that is already there. The question is, should women be told not to light candles for Shabbat? The answer is no, because we already have. Not only because it's a minhag, because once it was, we did it for so many centuries. It carries a certain message. We connect to the actions of our forefathers throughout history. It goes back thousands of years, and the rabbis, the Hachamim, actually connected that to the first act in creation when Adam and Hava ate from the forbidden fruit. They said they turned off the light of the world. So now it's incumbent upon us to rekindle the light of the world, and when we do that, we're bringing the Geulah. So Hachamim actually. So the Hachamim connected. It's a beautiful concept that every time that a woman or a man, if the woman is not present, every time they light the Shabbat candles, they connect to millions of people who lived before them, and to, God willing, whoever will live after us, when the Geulah will come in our days, but until the coming of the Mashiach. So there's a whole continuity, and this is the secret, the power of Am Yisrael, that we have this historical view and continuity. So we light Shabbat candles with Baracha, the same with Yom Tov. Yes?
Restaurant, you see the lights with the battery.
Yes.
Can we use it when you go to
I said the little lights with the battery, if you're away and you're in a place where you can't light Shabbat candles, you say the Baracha before you plug it in, and you put it...
No, it's battery.
the battery. Oh, yeah. It's a battery switch. Or if you don't have that, if you decide whatever light you're going to leave in your hotel room, before you flip the switch before Shabbat, you say, Ladlik Nesha Shabbat, and you turn it on. It has nothing to do with, like I said before, with fire. Because some people, we spoke about that, the dispute whether electricity is fire or not. And we said that according to the all the Sephardic rabbis who ruled that you could use electricity on Yom Tov, and some Ashkenazi rabbis who also rule like that, it is all based on the concept that electricity is not fire. But on Shabbat, the idea is not about lighting a fire, but rather having a light kept on. That's why you could say the Baracha before you light the electricity. Okay, we'll stop here because